I need just a minute. Hey fam, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no frills American Idol commentary from a singer. Woo! Tonight we had the top 10 guys performing in Las Vegas, and we are going down to the top 5 guys, and then we're going to have the top 10 people in American Idol. I don't know why they did it that way, but that's the way they're doing it right now. The guys battle for a spot. 5 will be going home tomorrow. 5 girls also be going home tomorrow, and they will be broadcasting from LA. And tonight, America votes. Have you voted already? If you ain't voted, you ain't got too long, because I'm sure this goes up about 2 hours after the show is over with, and that's when it's done. So let's get down to business. Liu started out with Stay by Rihanna, and he has a very sweet tone, but has a tendency to go sharp on the ends of his phrases for some reason. This was a good current song choice, and he seemed to connect well to the material, but it didn't really go anywhere. You know, he just kind of laid there. Keith said he showed good control and it was a great start to the show. Nicki said she would be willing to stay, and he looks very marketable. Randy said he liked it more than last week, but said it never left first gear. Mariah said she liked the song choice and that his relevancy is his strong point. Cortez was up next. He did Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars, and yes! Oh, he came in with something up-tempo, and that made me so happy. And did some fancy footwork. He was doing his thing. I liked he added just enough of his own riffs to make it his own, and the ending was very nice. Keith asked him a few questions and then said it wasn't the best song for him. Nicki ripped on the way he was dressed and said she felt like he was straining, but she liked him. Randy said it was a little under sometimes, meaning under the pitch. Mariah noticed that he likes to be in the higher keys, but said he should take it down a half step so he could shine more at the top. And a lot of singers do this, and she did mention that. But a lot of times, if something is right there at your breaking point, you take it down a half step. That way you can still have a little room to play at the top. That's what she was saying, basically. And Ryan did something I thought was really cool. Like, these people like close to the front had a really big sign saying Keith is our idol or something like that. And he went over to him and took the sign and took it to Keith to have him sign it on camera and then gave it back to them. That was very nice. Kudos, Ryan. You are the man. You really are the man. Charlie Askew was up next. He did Mama by Genesis. And I don't know what I was expecting. But he really surprised me on this. I mean, he really did. I actually liked the sound of his voice in the beginning and was really surprised at how well the big part of this song sounded. I thought it was well done, though it was a little quirky, and in places, you know, his screams were, but they fit in what he was doing for me. Keith said he wished he knew what people at home were saying, but he felt this wasn't genuine. Genuine. Nicki's asked where her little baby's at and said she's upset. Randy said he's worried for him, and he thought the front part of the song was terrible and it didn't connect at all for him. By the time Mariah spoke, it looked like Charlie was about to cry to me from their comments, right? And he had a moment that seemed to endear him to a live audience because he was talking about, you know, how he smiles because he has to sometime and all this good stuff. You gotta watch it. It was very sweet, very endearing, and I like him and I like the performance. What did you think of his performance? Nick Boddington did Iris by the GooGoo Dolls, and he was back at the piano to please the judges, and I wrote with a limericky performance. I felt like he didn't have a great vocal on this, but the audience was on their feet. They seemed to enjoy it. Keith said it was a perfect song for him. Randy said it wasn't his best performance, but he's glad he made it his own. And Randy touched on the point that sometimes who an artist thinks they are and who they actually are two different things. You know, sometimes they don't really jive. So I just want to put that out there just for now, and I might be able to expound on that later. Mariah said it didn't kick in until the end. Burnell Taylor did I'm Here from The Color Purple again. It was also his audition song. And I love this show, Color Purple, and the song, and he did it so well both times, in my opinion. The way he performs is so dramatic, even when he's just standing there directing himself and emoting the lyrics, right? I always get it in his body, but not necessarily in his face or in his eyes. Sometimes his face and his eyes are very deadpan for me, even when everything else is really going and he's really emoting. And his eyes and face just aren't doing anything. But again, I thought it was a really good performance from him. Keith stood for him and seemed to be swooning. He also said Burnell has an instantly recognizable voice. Nicki said he's one of a kind and was born to do this. Randy said what he loves is that he captures your attention from the first word. Mariah said he gave her tears again. If you're enjoying the commentary from here, from Robert Anton, please make sure to thumb it up for me and let me know that you're enjoying it. It also lets others know on YouTube that you are enjoying it. Invite them, come on over and join us for a little chit chat. Thanks so much. Paul Jolley was up next. He did Just a Fool by Christina Aguilera featuring Blake Shelton. And he had a nice sound on this song and really good placement on the top notes. He was working hard up there, let me tell you. And it didn't seem to be getting the love from the audience during the performance that some of the other performers were. But they did stand for him at the end of the song. Keith asked some questions, but kind of asked him to pull it back even more theatrically and trust his vocal ability. Nicki said it was a solid performance. Randy said the beginning was amazing and he really liked his tone down there, but didn't like how he sounded in the top range. And this is where I was talking about he was working really hard, because a lot of times when you extend your top range, you have to do things in order to make it happen. And I think we see this more with sopranos or really high voices. You know, everything on the top is ah. Once you get way up there, it's and they could be saying anything, but it's all to keep everything open around here. And he was very good at keeping all that open and really getting out the sound of those high notes very clearly. And I think that's what Randy didn't like, because it kind of changes your tone. You don't get the exact same fullness that you get in your chest when you go up there. So that is what Randy was hearing, in my opinion. Lazaro Arbos was next. He did Feeling Good by Nina Simone. And he had a nice rich tone in the beginning of the song and represented himself well through the main portion, but didn't quite hit all the notes near the end. You know, I don't think he is a riffer at all and all that. And I'm feeling, he just, yeah, that just wasn't working. But the audience gave him a lot of love throughout and stood at the end and wouldn't shut up. They were screaming and hollering and just howling. Keith pointed out that the whole audience connects with him when he starts to sing. Nicki said it was a very strong vocal. Mariah said it impresses her how he throws himself into his performances, but she felt the song was a bit too low for him because it didn't really hit his sweet spot, you know, in the bottom part. Finch Jr. was up next. He did I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly, and this was a perfect song choice for him. Inspirational, iconic, and forever current. And he milked it for all it was worth. Let me tell you, every moment, and gave us his big note during the key changes. With all scrunched up face. Nicki and Randy were on their feet before he even finished the song, and the other judges joined them at the end. Keith said, "We just had a sermon in Vegas." Nicki said he sets the bar higher every time he performs. Randy said the competition started at Curtis. Mariah said the energy he gave off is just what she needed in this moment. Devin Velez, let me tell you people, I love this song choice and the tone of his voice, and when he went in the Spanish version, he sounded even better vocally, just pristine and perfect. He actually had me on the edge of tears. And let me tell you, I was typing this, and before I was finished, I had tears because it was so beautiful to me, just excellent. When he goes into that Spanish and does what he does, his voice is already good and solid, but then just it being in, I guess, in his natural tongue, just, oh, it is just so gorgeous. Keith said the beginning was shaky, but he was such a good singer when he hit his stride. Nicki said it was muy bien, perfecto, and gordo. And she knew gordo was the wrong word, right? So she said that. Randy said his tone is the tone he really, really likes. And Mariah said his performance was incredible and he performed effortlessly. In the pimp spot, we had Vincent Powell doing End of the Road by Boyz II Men. And he sounded a little strained to me on this, really, and wasn't quite as connected as he was last week. But there's no doubt that this man could sing his face off. There's just no doubt. It's just he wasn't on his A game tonight. I think everyone's saying that he oversang, and I think maybe he just tried to push it a little too much. Keith said he felt that the nerves got on top of his talent. Nicki said he wasn't sitting on it right tonight, and his voice didn't come alive in that song. Randy said it was good but wasn't his best because he overshot it a little bit. Mariah said there were moments of brilliance in his performance. What did you guys think? And what do you think of my new hairdo? I'm trying to do I'm trying to do the faux mocha hawk, cause I'm just acting silly. This is Robert Anton, robertantonnyc. I'm out. Peace. Oh, make sure to check out some more videos from Robert Anton by clicking down here to check out some of my videos. I'm doing it for you, and I hope you are enjoying. I'm out.